They publish photos of Charles with postcards, over which he is crying, moved to tears with wishes for recovery. That said, his very rating has long been alarming to aides. That's why now they have started throwing out good news on the theme of "we are doing well." For example, about the handsome the new assistant of Princess Catherine. But the reality is far from rosy. Against the backdrop of rumors about Princess Catherine's condition and work almost to the bone with daily trips and events of Princess Anne, Sophie of Edinburgh and Camilla herself, it is obvious that the plan to sequester the royal family, which a year before the death of Elizabeth II developed Charles, turned out to be an unrealistic dream of someone who all his life actually prepared to become king. Let me briefly remind you of the essence of the plan of the king's accountant. Reduce the number of working family members on welfare and receiving payments to a small group of major beneficiaries: William, Kate, Anne, Sophie and Edward, plus the king himself and the queen consort. But Kate's sudden illness, the king's own surgery, and a type of cancer unknown to his subjects, have knocked 3 of the family members out of the running, including the heir to the crown, who has requested a leave of absence to care for his wife. And he not only wanted to deprive his relatives, Andrew was the first to leave, of the opportunity to be considered working and receiving salaries, but also to take away real estate from all the extra mouths, turning it into hotels or tourist recreation centers. So now there is a gigantic reconstruction of Buckingham Palace, which by order of the monarch is being turned into an entertainment royal Disneyland. Charles himself claims that he will recover soon, and that he is not going to give the crown to the heir until his last breath. Against this background, everyone can see that Camilla at her 76 and Princess Anne at her 73 are finding it increasingly difficult to take on a heavy workload all the time. Charles never took the youngsters in the royal family seriously. Until recently, when he still hoped to bring Harry and Markle back into the service. Having met fierce and friendly resistance among his closest relatives, he is now pondering what to do. Under the Royal Duties Act, they can only be performed by princes and princesses of royal blood. Therefore, the children of Princess Anne, who deliberately stripped them of their titles and gave them a rather carefree life, cannot start working for the crown. That said, her son, Peter Phillips, would be quite willing to work for the crown. But he has no titles, and Charles doesn't want him in the service after the scandal of the Chinese advertisement for cow's milk, which Peter promoted while sitting on the front lawn of the palace. Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie could have, but Charles is somehow hesitant to do so. There are also the children of Sophie and Edward of Edinburgh. And more often experts call to the king with a request to involve 20-year-old Louise Windsor. But she doesn't have the title of princess. Lady Louise Windsor's royal status has the potential to change, said a royal historian in an interview with Nana Akua on GB News. Gareth Russell, a royal historian, believes King Charles III may consider a title change for his niece. Prince Edward, the king's younger brother, inherited the title of Duke of Edinburgh, while his son James, 16, has now been given the title of Earl, a title the teenager inherited from his father. But James is still young, but Louise would like to be involved, although she is now a student in Scotland. There were rumors about it last year, and certainly Lady Louise has impressed people at the palace. Many royal commentators have also noticed that she seems eloquent, soft and at ease when meeting people. It is also worth noting that it is not traditional for many royal women, with the exception of the monarch's eldest daughter who received the title of royal princess, to receive their own titles. Nor was it traditional for women to be first in line to the throne if they were born first. These laws did change under Queen Elizabeth II at the end of her reign. Russell added. So it's quite possible that we will continue to see high-profile female members of the royal family acquire titles during the reign of Charles III. It is quite possible that the king will do so. Could the king tweak a few things both in the laws and in his plan to sequester the royal budget? But this is just speculation, and Charles is too sick. He's only been gone for a month, which means he'll soon be back to his regular duties in full force, or he'll be sick again. If you liked the video, then don't forget to put a like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the latest news about the royal family.